Guys, where is everyone on the screen looking right now? Look, I hate to be that guy, but like, dude, I gotta like cover up like the right side of the screen over here. Everybody focus on what's important. He's talking. I have never played Blade and Neo, just by the way. I'll give my opinion at the end. Or Blade and Soul, Neo. Just Blade and Soul in general. Is there any more than that? Is it Blade and Soul, Neo? I don't know. Like, is there any more? Like, that's it? Yeah, they didn't show shit. Gameplay. Like, I'm new to Blade and Soul. I don't know everything you need to know. Okay, here we go.
What's going on, guys? My name is Fat Bento, and welcome back to another Blade and Soul video. Today,
Based game developer.
we got some news on Blade and Soul Neo, including a release date, so I wanted to touch on everything we know about Neo so far and what you can look forward to on February 25th of this year. Let's jump right into it.
Oh god, we got an Ayaya enjoyer here.
So if you don't know, Blade and Soul Neo is a re-release of the game with modern graphics and a bunch of system changes that are both good and bad, but much more modern. It was announced over a year ago as a remaster of the game under the title Neo Classic, but they have since...
I have never played Blade and Soul. I have heard phenomenal things about the combat in this game, though. So I was told that there's no real PvP in this game aside from like the arenas, but like people like rave about how good the combat is, and they say that I would really enjoy it because of, you know, I enjoy games like Naraka Blade Point, Black Desert Online, games with really good combat. Notice I didn't list Throne and Liberty.
Dropped that title in favor of just Neo. The game itself has already released in China and Korea, and thanks to some awesome community members, we do have some ideas of what we're in store for with the Western release. The main selling point of Neo is the graphical updates and some of the quality of life updates. However, some of the other changes that they made aren't so great, but we'll talk about those in a minute. China and Korea both released with the level 36 patch, similar to the patch that we got on the Western release in 2016, which takes you through Moonwater Plains, and I believe the highest tier dungeon available at that time was Tomb of the Exiles. The game...
So there's no large-scale PvP in Blade and Soul? And there's no PvP above like 3v3, right? It is literally just chat PvP and like 1v1s?
Released with 7 classes, those being Assassin, Blade Master, Kung Fu Master, Force Master, Summoner, Destroyer, and Blade Dancer.
What is the face on that girl? I'll be honest with you, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, I'm like, good, excellent, perfect, great. What the f is bro, she looks like a porcelain doll.
The biggest quality of life we're getting in Neo is going to be infinite windwalking.
Yeah, also, I'm not looking at the face because I'm not gay, but...
Basically, you have unlimited stamina and can run up walls all the time. I am super happy with this change. I felt really limited by the system in the past, and I'm so glad they decided to do this for Neo. Another interesting change is that field bosses and world bosses are more relevant to your gearing progression, and actually they are shared the HP across of every channel, so no more super cluttered channels and having to wait to respawn and stuff like that on certain channels. So I think that's a great change as well. And of course, the new skill animations and the graphics updates. My gosh, these look beautiful, and I'm so...
The skill animations do look pretty good.
I'm glad we got this finally. However, the China and Korean servers also have some changes that aren't so great, and we're going to go over a couple of them now. The biggest change, and I think the one that turns off most people in the West, is that there is no arena PvP currently in the game, and
what? Bro, Like, this is what I'm talking about. You dead, bro. What? Homie. Like, how do you have you can't rave about having the best combat in the genre and then not have anywhere to PvP it, bro? Do you know what that is going to attract? Do you know what type of players really good combat attracts? PvPers. Okay? Yeah, PvEers enjoy it too because it's smooth gameplay, but like overall, PvPers want to compete with one another. You gotta have arenas at least, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, oh my gosh, dude, that's kind of a turnoff, not gonna lie.
There is only 6v6 PvP, and in Korea, it is on a limited time
Blaine still had a 1v1 equalized arena, even had an esports scene. Yeah, and there's none for it here.
schedule. I personally did not play much arena PvP, but when I did, it was so fun. And I know it's been the main selling point for a lot of people playing Blade and Soul.
Yes.
So I'm really
They should make like 3v3 arenas too, 10v10s.
sad that is not included in the version that is released in Korea and China. And people...
Well, in fairness, Korea and China are like Care Bears, and the game isn't designed for them, mainly because the game is already dead from my understanding in at least Korea. Kind of like Throne of Liberty was. It's supposed to be successful in the West, right?
have been pushing NC West, and I will be too, to make sure it comes in the Western release. It is necessary for you to have a player base. I need you to hear that, NC West.
I'm so sorry. I've never seen this guy's videos before, but this guy looks like he's being held at gunpoint. Please don't ruin your game. Please. Have arenas in your game. Mercy. Mercy. Look at that face, bro. Listen to it again.
It is, and I will be too, to make sure it comes in the Western release. It is necessary for you to have a player base. I need you to hear that, NC West. Or
That sounds like me talking to Perlimus, bro.
at the very least, you need to not make 6v6 PvP limited to 1 hour a day. That is absolutely absurd. In terms of PvE, dungeons now cost an energy meter.
He's preaching, though.
To loot. Basically, think of it as stamina in a mobile game. And if you don't have that, you can still run the dungeon, but the loot will not be able to drop, from my understanding. In addition to that, there is no longer a skill book per se. Basically, you roll the enhancements for your skills onto your accessories, and it's an RNG chance. And from my understanding and from posts I've seen, it actually makes it so some of the combinations you are used to aren't possible anymore, which I think is a very bad change.
I know a lot of you, what you're going to be asking, is Dune pay to win? We have no idea what that, quite yet. I've heard mixed things about it. Is Blade and Soul Neo pay to win? You bet your sweet bippies it is. Super pay to win, but that's never stopped me in the past. Fuck it.
Also,
If the gameplay is good, I won't care.
added a card collection system. If you've played Lost Ark, you know exactly what this is. Cards drop, you put them on, give you a set bonus that really matters in terms of your damage. So honestly, I think this is a bad change. It's a system that I don't like in Lost Ark, and I don't think it fits in Blade and Soul either. However, it seems that the other servers also put a bit more emphasis on factions and PvP in factions. There are areas where
Wait, so there is open world PvP?
you can PvE and PvP and PK and stuff like that. And also faction materials.
So there's open world GVGs in this game? Wait, that's a W.
Matter a lot.
It's going to
more
have
in
the same kind of auction house as Throne and Liberty.
I'm fine with that.
this release, it seems. So
It has faction PvP? Oh, I would love that, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm back on board. I'm back on board. It needs to have arenas, though. Otherwise, how the hell am I going to make any money? I mean, how are we going to run tournaments for the fuck it?
I think that's good. But I didn't really mess with factions when I was playing the game. So I don't know how impactful this really is. What I do know is that in the current state of the game, China and Korea's servers are basically dead. And I truly think if
They said the same thing about Throne and Liberty. They said the same thing about Black Desert Online as well. Nobody gives a shit. The West, if the West likes it, the West likes it. Guys, where is everyone on the screen looking right now? Look, I hate to be that guy, but like, dude, I gotta like cover up like the right side of the screen over here. Everybody focus on what's important. He's talking.
NC West doesn't make any changes to the current system, the game will not last in the West very long either. Truthfully, there has been little to no communication about the systems that we are getting, other than the mantra system, which is highlighted on the website.
Excellent. So we can all cope about all of these systems that we're absolutely going to get, right, guys? We just cope the shit out of it. Real talk, NCSoft, guarantee it. They handle it the same as Throne and Liberty. Whatever the West says they want, the West gets. Do you know why? Because their company is skint broke and they cannot afford to have us get upset with it. They need to make money. They need it. Throne and Liberty does everything we tell them. We have them by the balls. It does not matter. The player base always gets what it wants in the West. And they respond like immediately to feedback most times. Blade and Soul, I expect to be the same thing because NCSoft is close to bankrupt. Throne and Liberty is keeping it afloat. They need Blade and Soul Neo to pull them back up again.
Site, and some other things that we have seen from trailers that have been released. So if the game comes out like this, I don't think it's going to survive in the West. Hopefully before February 25th.
If it's got open world PvP, I think that people will play it.
We will get more information on exactly
if it's got arenas, that will help too.
Systems are coming to the West and exactly what is it. And I hope that they make the changes that the community wants. However, this is NCSoft, and like many companies, they do what's best for their wallets, not so much their players.
Yeah, see, he's upset about that, and that is true. NCSoft has a track record for absolutely dumpstering some of their best titles and running them into the ground. But I would say, again, my experience with NCSoft has been mainly positive because they basically have to do everything we tell them or they're going to go bankrupt like Ubisoft. You know what I mean? The player base is over here like, we'll bankrupt you. Don't you do it. You better give us wider PvP. So yeah, you're going to do that. Yes, you will. Like, bro, we don't give a They need to gurgle our nutsack. We don't give a shit. I think it's going to be the same thing in Blade and Soul.
But nevertheless, the game is finally coming out February 25th after about a year of speculation. And honestly, I am excited for it. There is a pre-registration event going on right now where you can pre-register, get some outfits and some weapon chests, which I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but it's there.
They should sponsor me to play this, bro.
Also have some pre-order bundles if you're interested in those. I truly don't think any of these are worth it unless you really like the skins, but they're not amazing pre-order bundles. They also gave a graphic of some key dates. On February 11th, there will be a pre-download via Purple. On February 18th, character creation will be able to open up and you can reserve names and things like that.
Okay.
And then finally, on February 25th, you will be able to play Blade and Soul Neo. I will be playing Neo. I do have some fond memories of the release of Blade and Soul, so I will be giving this a shot.
Either way, it's an MMO release, guys. Yeah, it's technically a re-release, but like, you know, you f with it. You know, it's got really good combat. It's my only... I don't know almost anything about Blade and Soul. I'll give it a go. I'll be posting videos about it. We'll see what happens. Yeah, be right back. Pre-creating Blue Squadron. You say that, but in Throne and Liberty launch day, I was in within seconds of the server being live. Somebody had already taken my name. My life.
I don't know how long I will be playing it, but I am excited nonetheless. That is
Monster Hunter Wild's coming out at the same time. Yeah, and they're sponsoring me to make one of their videos. So I'll be playing Monster Hunter Wild too. Like really hard. And I'm going to be making the YouTube content for that
getting released. If I'm enjoying the game, I will be making content around it, and hopefully I will see you guys there for that. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really
that's good to know. Thankfully, he actually put together a video. Now we know at least a little bit more about it and the systems that are coming. There's the video right there. Take a look at it. Yeah, I'm curious. I'll play both Dune and this game. We'll see if they're garbage, then we'll farm it. But if it's really good, then we might make some really good content for it. Who knows?